Hello, I wanted to make a quick guide on how to do the Tank Mage Tower Challenge as a Prot Paladin, because when I was looking it up, all I could find was POVs and not an actual guide on it, so I just wanted to make an actual guide on it. For starters, these are going to be the talents you're going to want to run. The majority of your damage is going to come from Judgment, so that's the main reason you're taking this Crusader's Judgment, and Blind Light's just have an extra interrupt, and also get things off you if you need it. Blessed Hammer, you need it because you will be kiting, so this is just a way to generate holy power. You don't need Unbreakable Spirit, you could go Cavalier, but Unbreakable Spirit might be very helpful in the second phase, so I'd go it anyway because Cavalier's not very useful. Seraphim's just the most damage you can do here. Consecrate Ground because these two suck, and then Righteous Protector because the other two don't really matter at all during this fight. Alright, now I'll get straight into the commentary and I'll explain the fight mechanics while I do it. Alright, hello. So, this is going to just be a commentary and a guide on how to do Cruel. You'll be fighting the guy on the left first, the Inquisitor Varus. And this guy does a few main things. Basically, he has a circle around him that reduces your max HP each second you stand in it. You can take up to about 10 stacks before you should probably run out because you'll just die to everything else. Unfortunately, if you silence him with Avenger Shield, he starts moonwalking. He just started randomly doing that like yesterday. I don't know why. That's fine. He's just going to cast these Mind Rends. You can completely ignore that. The only thing you need to kick is Drain Life because it will heal him about 2% of his HP a tick. Those eyeball things are really annoying. If you're facing them, they don't do anything, but if you're not facing them, then when that cast finishes, they'll knock you back. You can kill them with a single Judgment, but especially during Seraphim or Avenging Wrath, you don't want to be wasting any Judgments on them because the P1 does have a DPS check, so you want to be pumping as many Judgments as possible into the Inquisitor. Here you can see our first Infernal spawns. It just does a frontal that knocks everything back that it hits, so you just have to constantly be dodging that. It's really annoying. That is actually the DPS check of this fight. Every once in a while, you'll see these purple things spawn. They just run to attack Velen. If Velen dies, you lose the fight, so you just gotta go get aggro off them, and you're good. Velen will occasionally cast those orbs on the ground that you see there. It will just daze everything for about 5 seconds on the platform, and then full heal both you and Velen. You want to save as many of those as possible for P2. At around a minute and 50 seconds in, he's going to summon a second Infernal. If possible, you want to try and beat that Infernal spawning, but it's a very hard thing to do without Lust or Pots. So here I'm just going to go ahead and use one of those. Even on my kill, which is this video, I used 2, I think, in P1, and it was fine for P2. So you can see I got knocked back. I had to use the Goblin Glider kit to get back on, otherwise I would have gotten completely knocked off. There's a second Infernal spawning right as the Inquisitor's dying, which is pretty unfortunate. Now Cruel's immediately going to come down. I'm going to immediately Lust and just start burning them. I'm running around like a madman because all the knockbacks are going off from the Infernals. Then there's also that stuff. For this, he's going to cast Annihilate, just a standard tank buster. For the first one, you can live it with just Shield of the Righteous. For the second one, and it does stacking damage over time, as in the next time it does it, it's going to do like 110% more damage, then 210% more damage or something. So for the first one, you just use Strength of the Shield of the Righteous, and then for the second one, you use Ardent Defender. So I'm going to use Ardent Defender here. And then the next one is going to be Shield the Righteous again. But here I got low, so I just used that to disorient him and start hitting him. He's getting relatively low, so you can just change the CM as you can see here. That's what I opt to do. Instead, I'm just going to, you know, use the thing on. I don't know. We're slapping him, and you just want to stop as many annihilation casts as possible. I bubbled that one because it probably would have killed me if I didn't, and I go step on this because it's low HP. Now I'm just gonna try and kill him. because I basically have no defensives because I panic pressed all of them. You have to kick Twisted Reflections or it will heal him 5% of his HP every time he auto-attacks you, which is a lot. So you can see how annoying this fight is though. And then he dies. So this probably looks really easy. This took me 90 pulls to do, and I was full cheesing it. You can see at the top, I'm running the Crusader enchant, though this was after it's nerfed. I'm running the BFA pot, BFA augment rune, BFA food. I'm using Potion of Unbridled Fury, which is doing like 12k of his HP. He only has like 78k for a Prot Paladin. So yeah, it was very tight. You're gonna want to schedule most of your defensives in P2 better than I did. So for instance, what you would do is you do Shield of the Righteous for the first Annihilate, Ardent Defender for the second one, then Guardian, and Shield of the Righteous, and maybe Orb for the third one, and then for the fourth one you use Ardent Defender again, for the fifth one you Bubble, for the sixth one you interrupt it, because you can Hodge him or Blinding Light him during the cast, and then you just try and kill him. So yeah. It doesn't seem horrible, but with the amount of knockbacks this fight has, it's incredibly annoying to do. And the DPS is just, it's the cherry on top of being really annoying. There is a tactic I'm going to tell you about that I've seen on the WoW forums. I've never done it, but apparently there's a bug where you can place a soul trap, which is the engineering item from Shadowlands, down where the Inquisitor Varus is going to finish his RP, and it will stun him for 4 seconds, but then he will never trigger his corrupting patch on the ground that reduces your max HP, so you can get a lot more DPS that way, and always go into P2 with only 1 Infernal, which might be worth trying before they just end up nerfing Cruel, because they probably will. But yeah, thanks for watching. You can check out one of my other guides for the Mage Tower.